Hello, everyone. So, my name is Dr. TK, and we are about to do an awesome Are You a Therapist, Business Owner, or Hobbyist workshop. And so, I'm going to give people a few more moments to hop on. If you are able to, put a 1 in the chat box if you can hear me okay. Put a 1 in the chat box if you can hear me okay. And also, I want to tap in and see what y'all weather is like in Southern California. It's a little cold in my house, but I don't think it's like that outside. But I know that we had a serious, I'm going to call it a windstorm. And so let me just make sure that I can see everything before getting started. All right, so it shows that I'm live and I can hear myself. Okay, cool. All right. So I can see that I am definitely live. I'm looking at myself to the right. I am ready to go ahead and shift gears. And so let me just do a brief intro and then we'll go ahead and jump into it. So let me see. All right. Thanks. All right. I see people are hopping on now. So, my name is Dr. TK. I am a licensed clinical psychologist and the #1 therapist business coach. One of my goals for coming up on the following year, but really starting right now in December of 2021, is going live, connecting with my community, and really recording my podcast as well live because I know that some people have questions. And I can't see you right now, but you can engage with me live via the YouTube channel. And so you see on the bottom of the screen, I have daily affirmations that go out Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you would like to get those daily affirmations, all you have to do is text the word abundance to 310-388-8603. And so because I cater to mental health therapists, I'm not going to say if you're not a therapist, you cannot get the daily affirmations. But what we're talking about today is specifically as a mental health therapist, do you consider yourself a business owner or a hobbyist? And so we're going to really look at what are the classifications in terms of the differences through an assessment. Okay, so I'm going to switch my screen and I'm going to go ahead and jump in. If this is your first time tuning in to me, I am a college professor at heart. And so I believe, and from feedback from my community, it definitely helps when people see words on the screen versus just seeing me talk, because some things you may want to write down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch the screen and then we're going to jump into the topic today. All right. And actually, let me add my little picture because y'all can't see me no more, huh? So definitely didn't, let me see. All right, hold on for just a second. For those of you who are just coming on, welcome. Let's see. Oh man, where is my little video? Hold on, y'all. This would happen when you have technological issues. All right, I see that you guys are on now, like all the way. So let me know if you can hear me. I think everybody can hear me. Okay. Oh, maybe that's why. All right. So give me just a second. I'm going to find a screen now. Let me just give a little warning. If you don't have a pen and a paper, you definitely want to have that. We are going to be doing an assessment on your business to determine if you are truly a hobbyist or a business owner. The one thing that I'm trying to make sure that I have, though, is my camera, making sure that it is on. Oh, there it is. Okay, so scenes. Okay. So let's do this. Let me switch. Let me turn off my camera. Let me go to internet. Let me add a camera. I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm just gonna roll with it. Okay, I'm just gonna roll with this. If y'all need to see me, I'm gonna pop back in. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump straight into the presentation. All right. Okay, so here's the agenda. I've done a welcome. My goal is to have therapists connect with one another. So if you can put your state of where you're located in the comment box, that would be awesome, just so that people can connect with one another while we are live. I'm going to give you an overview. We're going to go ahead and dive in. So again, make sure that you have your pen and paper ready, and then we're going to wrap up. Okay. So as an intro, my name is Dr. Takesha Jackson Rudd, also known as Dr. TK. I am a clinical psychologist. I am the #1 therapist business coach. I am also the founder of my signature program, which is called Dope Therapist Academy, which is our growth for private practice, where we help therapists either open the doors to a private practice and or revamp their current private practice. And then we also have something called Elite Coaching Mastermind, in which those therapists are working on scaling their business and really moving from the growth phase into the scale phase. Okay. So outside of those two programs, I'm also an APA certified instructor. I'm a college professor over 17 years now. I've worked in various institutions and organizations such as community mental health. Currently, I do have contracts with community mental health part-time so that I can help them build out a mental health program. And then I'm also the author of a physical and a digital book. The first book is Foundations, 12 Steps to a Divine Relationship, and that can be found on Amazon. And then my digital book is more for my therapy clients, okay? I am known as a digital CEO, hence I am live here with you today. And I am a true advocate for the reentry population for mental health, meaning those who come out of jail or prison. I work with a nonprofit to make sure that their mental health is taken care of, okay? All right, so we did that already. Okay, so this is what we're going to focus on today. This is your overview. So we're going to do an assessment to determine if you are treating your business like a business owner or like a hobbyist, okay? So the assessment will be broken down into 3 different parts, and you'll see the name of the part so that you can know how to score yourself. And then, of course, I always love for people to put their scores in the chat box when we're done with each section. So all you have to do is follow my instructions and you will have no problem. But the 3 sections that we're going to focus on today is alignment, growth, and profitability. Alignment, growth, and profitability. So my general rule here is just keep it 100. Your score is what you believe you are right now, but don't lie to yourself now, because then that's going to determine what you should or should not be doing with your business or mindset, for that matter, in terms of change. I also like people to talk back to me. I run webinars all the time. I do CE workshops all the time. And one of the things that gets me more hyped up is when you're watching, you let me know, how are these results feeling right now? Do you have work to do? Are you in a good place? Okay. And of course, I'm going to leave an open part for you to ask questions. All right. So I'm going to take this screen off, and then I'm going to put myself back on, and then you will have the opportunity to ask questions. All right. So let's first talk about the first section, which is alignment. Alignment. So in each section, there's going to be 4 traits. The scores are on the slide. What you're going to do at the end is I'm going to tell you to put in your total score for each section at the end of each section. So on your sheet of paper or on your phone, trait number 1, are you doing what you love? So if you're doing therapy and you love it, give yourself 25 points. If you're at a job or you're doing something in your business and you don't like it, then give yourself a 0. Now, how this can come up for therapists is, let's just say that you are conducting therapy, but you really would prefer to open up a group practice, scale back your role, become maybe a clinical supervisor, and or just oversee the practice, but you don't want to be the one actually doing the services, if that makes sense. And so, are you doing what you love? If the answer is yes in your business, put 25 points. Now, this also includes admin work, and we'll get to delegation in a moment, but a lot of you, some of your time may be primarily focused on getting the back office of your practice ready. Therefore, you're not able to actually enjoy what you love, okay? So give yourself 25 points if you are actually doing what you love in your business. Give yourself 25 points. Trait number 2, are you serving whom you love? Are you actually treating and serving your ideal clients? Now, granted, this also includes, do you know who your ideal clients are? But give yourself 25 points if you've identified your ideal client, AKA client avatar, and you're actually serving them. Now, I'm going to put a number on this. I hope that your caseload in your business is at least 75% of clients that you actually love seeing. And the reason why I say 75% is that a lot of the clients in my program, they tend to revamp their client avatar. They get more clear. They learn how to say no. They start turning away people for consultations because they don't meet the criteria. And that's all gravy, but we also have an ethical duty not to abandon our current clients that we initially took on. And then maybe you lost interest in seeing those people, right? So that's something that you want to consider as well. So give yourself 25 points if you are serving whom you love. So, this is supposed to be trait number, they're out of order. So let's trait number 4. Are you creating your dream products and or services in your business? So for example, if I am doing therapy, but I would actually prefer to be hosting a membership site or hosting a podcast, or honestly just doing speaking engagements, and maybe I don't want to see clients all day throughout the week, then my answer would be 0 because I'm not creating my dream products or services. I don't know where to start. I've told myself I'm going to start and I never did. But I keep telling myself that, I got a good life. But the fact of the matter is you're not internally and wholly happy. Okay, so are you actually creating your dream products and or services? Services can also be, maybe you're more interested in doing group services and you don't really want to take on more than 5 therapy clients for individual services. However, when you look at your caseload, you have a total of 20 individual clients and no groups. Again, that would be 0 because you have a dream about what you want your products or services to look like. However, they're not there. Okay. Does that make sense? And then the last trait is, are you, and I switched these around for a reason because I want to talk about, of course, money last. So are you charging your actual value? I put #purpose. So do you even know your value? If you don't know how much you're valued at per hour, per project, per speaking engagement, your answer would be 0. But are you truly charging your value as a mental health provider and business owner? Or are you just, let's talk about the hobbyist, are you just dishing out numbers that come to your mind in terms of how much your services are? So if you are charging your value, give yourself 25 points. And what I would like you to do is I would like you to go over to the comment box, and I actually want you to put in your total score. It should be anywhere between 100, 75, 50, and or if not below. So let's go over the scores, and then I'm going to bring myself back on the screen and let's talk for a second, okay? So what's your grade? Did you score 100 points? Did you score 75 points? If you scored 75 to 100, what that means is that you do have a business ownership mentality and you're treating your business like a CEO would. If you scored 50 or below, that means that you are not working in alignment with your client avatar, your value. You're not actually doing what you like to do. You're probably bottlenecking in your own business, meaning you've become an employee of your own business. And so you may be wondering, well, damn, this sounds more like a non-business owner. You're right. You closer to the hobbyist lane. So what I'm going to share with you across the next 2 sections is when you score 50 or below, that simply means that you're not going all in your business, and or you don't know what direction to go because you don't have a mentor. You may not have a circle of influence, other therapists that are running their businesses efficiently. But bottom line is, if you are not all in and aligned with doing what you love in your business, then the hobbyist part will start coming up, which means that you're not motivated. Your follow through, put a one in the chat box if this resonates with you. Your follow through is not on point. You may say, I want to see my ideal clients. You may say, I want to offer, my, what do you call it? Like my ideal products or services. But at the end of the day, you're not. And so other things that it impacts is the creation process. If you're constantly waking up every day, just asking yourself, what can I throw at my business, today or this week, your business is treated like a side piece, right? Like you don't take it seriously. So whatever you don't take seriously, that's the energetic flow that you're going to get back. Okay. Now, what tends to happen in business is that a lot of therapists that I meet, they are discombobulated. They're disheveled in their thoughts. They have a lot of thoughts and they don't know what direction to go down. So what do? They do everything. But again, the message that you're sending back to your business to say, hey, I want to be aligned with you. I want you to give me back profits. I want you to show up for me when I want more clients. I want to serve my clients well. I want to drop value in my communities or with my clients or products or services, whatever you have to offer. If you are giving out the energy that your business can take the back seat, that is a hobbyist. I hope that makes sense. So the way that you go from hobbyist to business owner in terms of alignment, let me just pull back up these, these slides. If we actually just go backward, let's see. You can just look at the question and determine which one you are. So if you want to be more of a hobbyist, you're going to just be doing random stuff. If you want to be a business owner, you're going to be solely focused on working your way up, because it is a process, it's not overnight, to doing what you love. So right now, you may be doing a whole lot of paperwork, but that's not where you want to stay, right? So also, if you're a hobbyist, you're going to just be serving random people, just saying that my doors are open. I serve everybody in my practice. I serve everybody on my email list. I serve everybody for my coaching programs. Come all in because I just want people. But that doesn't make a transformation come to fruition, because you're not even all in. You like halfway in, 25%. You're also a hobbyist if you are randomly just creating products, either to go with the flow of whatever the norm is in the online space. You may have heard me say something, you heard other influencers say something that you may follow online, or you're just going with whatever pricks your heart. You know what I'm saying? So for example, you could be watching this YouTube live right now, or maybe listening to the podcast once it's published later. And you may say one morning, you know what? I want to do a podcast like she did it. I want to do a YouTube live. So what do? You put together some slides on Canva, you go on YouTube live, you schedule it. And then what happens 30 days later? You're not consistent. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. So let's go to the next section, the second section, which is growth. Okay, so again, on your sheet of paper, then I'll have you put in your final scores in the box. So number one, have you collaborated with someone else to get in front of your ideal client or share your gift, also known as reciprocity? So for example, I actually just hopped off of a 500 something person Zoom call. One of my coaches, he does a virtual 3-day virtual event because it was in person, but they clearly took it online. And I was one of the panelists on the last day talking about lead generation, meaning how do you get in front of, in a very creative way, your ideal clients. And so I wrote this number down right before I got on. Oh, can you guys hear me? I think you guys can hear me now. So before I got on, I counted how many Instagram followers I had just because I was on the panel. Within 30, I'm going to say between like 30 and 45 minutes of the panel presenting itself, me speaking, me doing some things that my coach had asked me to do, I got 74 new Instagram followers just by giving his community value. So sometimes we're solely focused on what people can give us. And I'm asking you, this is one thing that I'm telling my coaching clients. So this is a nugget if you're not in my mastermind program. We solely talked about in our mastermind in Vegas in November, how can you collaborate even within this community? Because you guys are sitting on a gold mine just amongst each other. So if you're part of our dope therapist community, whether it's DTA, TSA, ECM, all these acronyms, right? Collaborate with people in your community, in your accountability groups, in other Facebook groups, but collaborate. So have you collaborated with someone else in order to get in front of your ideal client and then share your gift? Give yourself 25 points. Number 2, have you, and this is a big one, have you invested in CEU workshops or units or credits aligned with your goals? #purpose. So for example, I offer nothing but CE workshops related to business mindset and business strategy. That's the only CE workshops that I do. I've had my clients ask me multiple times, can you do something on suicide awareness, supervision? And I tell them, no, there's plenty of classes and workshops that offer that. I don't want to do that. That is not operating in my gift. Can I do it? Yes. Do I know it like the back of my hand? Yes. I've been a college professor for a reason. I'm an APA certified CE instructor for a reason. However, one of the values that I even give to the company that I'm connected with to offer these APA CEs is specifically because I specifically do business related CE workshops. So let me ask you, if you want a profitable business, and let's just say you were enrolled in one of my programs or you went to a boot camp or something like that, and there were no CEs attached, but I offer a CE workshop coming up that's focused on, we did this a few months ago, we did digital products. We did a 3-part series. Do you know that outside of my community, we had less than a handful of clinicians register to attend that were not already part of my community? And that really spoke to me because I said, wow, how many therapists are solely focused on becoming a better therapist, but you're not focused on becoming a better business owner? Put a 1 in the chat box if that just resonated with you and I pricked your little soul right there like, yo, especially if you've been following me for a long time, you've seen when I've sent out emails over the last 2 years, y'all. If you are new to my community, throughout 2020, starting in May, all the way to October of this year, I was offering CE workshops every single month. And some people got it because it was a bonus as part of one of their coaching programs. But a lot of people did not take it because simply they were asking about therapist workshops. And I'm like, wow, is that your only focus? And not to say that your business won't grow without my CE workshops, but I'm just saying, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You know what I'm saying? If you need to work on other things even outside of private practice, because that's when you'll get a sneak peek of it in my CE workshops, and you can brainstorm. We have breakout rooms. Like it's just phenomenal. And so don't sleep on building your business to get CEs. That's all I'm saying. All right. So give yourself 25 points if you've invested CE workshops that are aligned with your business goals to grow. Now, if you've taken evidence-based practice CE workshops, that's fine. I will give yourself 25 points. But I would really want you to ask yourself, have I taken any CE workshops that's actually going to help me build my business, right? Beyond like doing therapy, because you got to get therapy clients to your office or to your virtual platform. Trait number 3. And we're talking about what's happening right now. So where I looked at research, just to let you know, are places like Forbes, because certain websites and online magazines, they post the most updated statistics as it relates to being online in this era. Okay. So these are not things that I pulled from a workshop a year, 6 months ago. These are as recent as this week, which is where these questions are coming from. Do you post videos about your services? #technology. So what I'm really asking you is, are you not shy about getting in front of the computer? These days, we live in an age where people are going to judge you based off your picture. And then let me just honestly say, videos go a lot further than a picture. So prime example is we did Facebook ads for this entire year for my launches, okay? And we were testing out how would videos do versus picture. I kid you not, every single time I did an ad, we had to turn off the photo ads and instead just use the video. So what is that telling you? People are more engaged and connected via video, right? So even when I do launches, when people see a video, even if it's pre-recorded, they're more willing to learn more about a product or service that I have to offer because of a video. So this is why I have chosen to move my podcast to YouTube in addition to iTunes, because some people are audio learners. Some people clearly are driving when they're listening, and you can listen via YouTube, but sometimes it just hits different in your learning style when you're watching something versus doing a audio podcast. And so again, I'm just highlighting what the trends are as it relates to business right now, because if you are not doing videos online, you're going to be left behind and you will turn your business into a hobby, even if it's not a hobby yet. Okay. Okay. Trait number 4. Let me move this down. Trait number 4. Do you delegate tasks off your plate? So hashtag time and wealth, give yourself 25 points. So if we're talking about growth, the true way that you actually grow your business is not adding more hours to your schedule. A lot of therapists I see are like, oh man, my business is growing. And it is growing. You're adding more clientele. You're adding more money to your bottom line. Your bank account is growing. But how can you work less while earning more? You for sure aren't going to be able to do it seeing individual clients for therapy, and that's it, unless your cap is $10K a month and less, and you're seeing about 25 to 30 clients, unless you charge like $200, $250, premium for sessions. You're going to have to see a lot of clients to break the threshold of the typical 10 to 12K a month. And that's gross. That's not counting taxes and overhead. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to put your final score for growth before we go into the third section. So similar to alignment, if you scored 75 to 100, you're in a very good place, which means that you see your business as a business entity, not a side piece, not a hobbyist. If you scored 50 or below, you may see your business being stagnant, meaning you may have been able to grow your business at one point, but it cannot break through a particular ceiling. Okay. So I've seen this even in my therapy, like serving therapists as my clients, coaching business. I saw that I was stagnating with my results when I was launching a particular way. I saw stagnation in my group practice when we didn't get creative on how we were even seeing families. So for example, because I had a group practice at one point, I was able to, let's just say, do an intake with the individual. Then they clearly through the consultation mentioned all these family structural issues. So then I, offered them, maybe we should do a consultation for family counseling or, with their partner, and then determine what should be the next move after I talk to both of them. And what's nice is if I determined clinically that they needed to be seen family, but they got too much baggage and maybe they need to be seen individually first. And if they're both open to it, then one of the therapists can see someone in my practice for individual. I can see one of the people for individual, and then maybe another person can see them for family later. Or I've done it where we've joint ventured a session together and both therapists are there with both clients. Okay. So I see here in the chat box, we have 75, and then someone put, Sarita put 25 in business private practice so you're new. So you're growing, and that's why we are here. But let me just say this as a disclaimer. If you are in the beginning stages of your private practice, or you are just starting your private practice, like you don't even have your first, private pay or insurance client yet, you're in the right space. You're connected with the right community with my YouTube, my podcast, and then also my Instagram, specifically because you will start to learn. I always call them foundational methods to move from not clear to clarity to growth and profitability. Okay. So what is your grade? If you are 50 and below, outside of being stagnant, it will impact your money. It will impact your profitability. It will impact your ability to connect with your ideal client. It will impact your ability to generate leads. If you do not want to get in front of new people, if you say, I don't want to do video, I refuse to do video versus I'm going to try to do video, you're going to get left behind. Did you know on Instagram, and I believe they're doing a rollout, but you might have access to it. Instagram gives you the ability now to schedule lives, and it also gives you the ability to practice live by yourself. Then when you're cool, you can then invite other people to the live, or you can just schedule another live. Why are they adding this feature? Anytime a feature is added to social media, you have to know that the trends are changing. Okay. So let's go through this one just like we did the other one with business versus hobbyist. So with growth, the trends are speaking more so. If you want to continue to run your business by yourself and not collaborate, you are going to run out of creative ideas to get in front of new people, aka your business will turn into a hobby because you don't have no consistent clients, no new ones. Okay. CEs, I've talked about that as well. In terms of hobbyists, you're just randomly, for example, taking random CE workshops, probably at the last minute. Put a 2 in the chat box if this has been you. And I know it's been me, so I'm going to put a 2 verbally in the chat box. This has been me like years ago, but I'm telling you this story because it's the truth for a lot of therapists. We go to CEs for less, no shade, you know what I'm saying? We take the same courses that we took the last 2 years, we downloaded the answers, or you pull up 2 screens, I know all the tricks, and you search Control Find to go find the answers. You don't read the PowerPoint, you don't read the book, and you just simply get all your CEs in a very short time frame. And my question to you is, did you actually learn something? If I asked you to get up in front of our community and do a presentation about what that CE workshop was about, could you tell me? So put a 2 in the chat box if either you or you know of other therapists that wait until the last minute to do their CEs. And better yet, you may even know someone or yourself in which you have not taken any CE courses related to building your business. Put a 2 in the chat box if you have never taken any CE workshops that are going to help you build your business beyond an evidence-based practice. Okay. With trait number 3, posting videos. You got to roll with the trends. Am I asking you to come on here and do a whole webinar and YouTube live? No, but at least do a 15-second story. Introduce yourself. Tell people your name, where you're located, and your title. Actually, that's your challenge from today's workshop, but we're not done. Go to Instagram today or tomorrow and just reintroduce yourself, because remember, you gain followers, you lose followers every single day. But again, if you keep showing up like a hobby, who's gonna pay you, right? And then delegating tasks. Over time, you will learn that unless you want to burn out, you have to get things off of your plate. You cannot continue to believe that you can wear the cape in your business and do everything yourself and take a vacation and take time off and earn more money while doing less. That don't even match. Okay. So let's move to the last section, which is profitability. Now, this is probably our most favorite topic as business owners, but if your back office is not in order, profits may come in, but the problem is they're not going to stay. Okay. So my mission for 2022 is not just to produce 6-figure and multi-6-figure earners in their multiple businesses under the mental health umbrella as therapists, but I specifically want therapists to create take home that is 6 figures. Put a 1 in the chat box if you like that mission. I want your take home to be 6 figures, not your gross income to be 6 figures. Those are 2 different things. Okay. So profitability trait number 1. Have you met with a tax planner or CPA? #gambling. You are gambling with your money. Business owners talk to their tax people every time they have a question. They are able to email their tax person and they don't mind investing the money to get the correct answer versus making a mistake. And then you owe the IRS a whole lot of money. So give yourself 25 points if you have met with and scheduled a meeting, not just with an H&R Block person, but with a person who can understand your business. So I see the Fruitful Life said that she has a bookkeeper now. Awesome. Definitely made me feel more comfortable, confident, financially. Exactly. You know where your money is going. And then your bookkeeper also should be going over your books with you, hopefully monthly, unless you want to take the time out to do that yourself. We have a standing meeting with my team where my bookkeeper actually goes over how do we meet the projected revenue goals and expenses, money out, and, of course, money in this month. And then what are our projections for the next month? That within itself keeps me on my toes in terms of I need to be focused. I need to have revenue generating activities all the time, even if it is passive. Number 2 for profitability. Do you know how much your time is worth hourly? And what I'm asking you is, have you actually done a hourly rate equation? Now, the only people that I've released this to is my mastermind students. It's going to come out more so in 2022 for those students who are in my other programs, because I want all of my students to know what their hourly worth is so that they can compare that to how much they're making and charging. And if they don't like the number, they need to raise their rates or check their schedule, because they either are working too much or they need to work less. Like, there needs to be a fix. So give yourself 25 points if you know not what you charge per hour, but I'm asking you, do you know the equation to identify what your value and worth is hourly? It is an actual equation, y'all. Okay. All right. Profitability number 3. You are willing to take risk. That is a tongue twister. You are willing to take risk to get results in your business. If the answer is yes, give yourself 25 points. And so we just had a podcast episode that dropped, I believe, Friday with Amber. And one of the things that she highlighted, she's been part of the Dope Therapist Academy and she's been part of our mastermind. So she's been part of our community since 2019. And one of the things that she highlighted probably in the middle of the podcast when we start talking about investing in yourself as a therapist and tips that she can share with the therapist community is that she had mentioned that it was hard for her to give up the money. She said something like that. And then we talked about the mindset is that you don't know what you don't know. So most clinicians that are in my community, I am their first exposure of a business coach that teaches what I teach. And I am a acting, clinical psychologist. I'm active, So are you willing to take risk and get the results in your business? So one example, and I sent this via text message about 2 weeks ago, which said something like, pretty much, are you operating out of ignorance tax? And so I want to ask you, put a 1 in the chat box if you'd rather do the following. Would you rather somebody give you a formula and you go follow it, and the formula can be consumed in about 10 to 12 hours? Put a 1 in the chat box if you'd prefer to pay someone. Let's just put $1,000 on it. You paid somebody $1,000. They gave you the formula to grow your business or start your business, and all you have to do was follow the steps. Put a 1 in the chat box if that makes sense to you. Like, hell yeah, I paid $1,000. Now, for those of you who are like, I need to know what it is, I ain't paying that $1,000, I want you to look at your mindset, because your mindset is starting to go to scarcity and a poverty mindset, and you're really missing the point. How many hours are you going to have to consume on your own via YouTube, podcasts, getting conflicting information, talking to friends, and their business is not at the level that you want your business at? How long is that going to take you, and how much will that cost you? So what I tell people in my boot camps or webinars when I open up a program is I really want you to understand that you have to look beyond. I'm not saying, neglect it. But what I am asking you to do is don't get so caught up in focusing on only how much it costs, because you're missing the whole value point. What is it going to give you? Okay. So give yourself 25 points if you're willing to take a risk. The last one is, do you have streams of income and at least one of them is passive? That is not a partial question. Do you have at least one additional stream of income outside of doing therapy, and at least that one or one of the streams of income is passive, meaning you do not have to be there? So one example of passive income for me is a business plan. Okay. Business plan, we have a checklist that's free, but the actual business plan itself is part of a passive income source through my email list. So the only way you're really going to see it is either through the link in my bio on Instagram, or you're going to see it when you get my emails welcoming you to our community. So just like the other ones, what is your score? And I'll go to the chat box. 100 to 75. 75, you might got some tweaking to do, but your profitability is golden right now. You're good. If you scored a 50 or below, your business will only grow as big as you. Let me say that again. Your business will only grow as big as you. Okay. So this impacts, if you don't have money in your business, because some people are like, oh, I just want to serve my people. You still got to make money though. Okay. So if you don't make money, it does impact your ability to take time off, because I hope that you want to pay yourself when you're taking time off. If you don't have any money, how can you invest money to make more money? How can you invest in yourself to learn other strategies to then bring in more money to your business? Also, with an abundant lifestyle. What I talk about in terms of abundant lifestyle is, for me, mine is like spending time with my kids. Okay. It is taking couples getaways, even if it's like locally with my husband. It can be buying myself something nice. It can be redoing my office. Like I did this in, the middle of 2020, because clearly we were locked in our houses and this was my therapist cave, right? So initially I just had, well, I'm pointing it the wrong way. I just had like that little area like in back of me with like some books and some handbags. And then I realized that, oh wait, we about to be on video like every day. So I need to spruce this up. So as soon as Hobby Lobby opened, your girl was like getting pictures. Some of these pictures I had, but they were in places that you could see them in the video. But I wanted to make sure that I got to show up for people on video. I got to go live more. I got to show people that everything is going to be okay. They just got to have faith, right? So let me go to the comment box. I think I could utilize the info and reshape it to fit my needs. So I would say a 1. Yeah. So it's all about what can you pay for to shortcut your process. So prime example would be, now granted we have to get licensed, but all of us as therapists have invested in a college degree, right? You've also invested in graduate courses to graduate so that you can apply to get licensed, study for the exam. You've made all of these investments. And what have you done with that work outside of some of us getting burnt out? So you really want to ask yourself, what are you really doing with your investments? Okay. So I want to share with you something. Let me pull it back up, because what I did is I looked at, where are some of my clients struggling? And they know it. Like, I ain't gonna put people on blast in terms of names, but if I see certain things pop up in my community and you're my paid client, I'm for sure about to give you a tip right away. Now, there were way too many on Black Friday, so I didn't want to get into everybody DM because they have, set up all their stuff. But these are the things that I see, and it's not thoroughly thought through. And these are things where I would see that they're more like hobbyists. So if this sounds like you, put a 2 in the chat box. A hobbyist would do something like, I'm going to pop up and do a workshop Friday. I'm going to pop up and host a live event in a month because I know I'm going to be able to fill the seats. I'm going to pop up and I'm going to host a webinar, not knowing that you have to have landing pages, you have to have emails, you got to have reminders, and a whole lot of other things that I will not state, but it is a lot of details and it's way more than what you see. This YouTube live is more than what you see, okay, to set it up. You pop up and you have a launch for Black Friday for your workshop, your live event, for your coaching program. But what are the steps? What are the stages to the launches? What help do you have for the launches? What follow-up sequence do you have for the launches? What graphics do you have for the launches? What is your call to objections? If you don't even know what I'm talking about, don't pop up and do it. But these are the things that I see. Don't pop up and just create a coaching program, especially as a mental health therapist. I know that ethically there's no rules yet. All they waiting on is one mistake to be made. But please note what I would suggest, and I'm going to give you this golden nugget. Try to create, if you want a coaching program that badly, start tapping into being a coach of something that does not look like therapy. Okay, so I am a business coach for therapists. That way, when people go to my website, it's very clear. If I had a link that says, but I'm not taking clients right now, if I had a link that says, which I did, do you want therapy or are you a therapist and you want business resources? It was very specific, but people can't do both. Okay. Other things that I've seen in my community is, I'm not going to call my clients a hobbyist, but if they haven't thoroughly thought through the process, what will end up happening is that they're not going to get the results that they want because they just popped up and they just did it, right? They didn't strategize. They just put something together. They put a picture on Instagram and then they turn around and say, I only got one sale. Nobody showed up to my webinar. Nobody showed up to my Facebook Live. Nobody purchased my product or service. All right. Put a 2 in the chat box if any of this resonates with you, if you've had this happen to you. Okay. Some people pop up and they build group counseling programs. Like, I want to have a group of therapy clients, and it's just so easy. But do you have an onboarding process? Do you have a screening process? What will your documentation look like? What is your pricing? What is your value? How long is the product? How long is the services, right? These are all things that, and this is a snippet. I'm just shooting these off the top of my head. Okay. Also with group practices, people just want to hop up and say, you know what? I want to hire another therapist. So because I want to hire another therapist, boom, I'm a group practice. Okay, Dr. TK and Dope Therapist Academy. What can I learn about group practices? I'm sorry. Dope Therapist Academy is for solo practices, not group. Am I saying that you can't learn some fundamental methods of a back office of a private practice in DTA? Absolutely. But if we're talking about onboarding, HR, all these other things that I won't disclose that my mastermind students get, you need a whole lot more than just office policies for a group practice. Okay. And so put in the chat box, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions before I wrap up? Okay. Okay. So let me do some announcements if there are any comments as they pop up. Okay. So again, if you want to get daily, Monday through Friday, daily affirmations, all you have to do is text the word abundance to 310-388-8603. Now, if you want to stay connected, I want to give you some code words that you can text to that same number if you want to register for a few things. So every time I go live, I'll always tell you what I have coming up just in case you're interested. Okay. So one of the things we have coming up is the CE workshop. Okay. So if you want to be part of the CE workshop that's going to be held on December 11th, it'll be for 2 hours on a Saturday morning. Breakout sessions. We'll be talking about how can you break through your goals using motivational interviewing for 2022. It's 3 CEs, but again, it's to help you build your business and it's a tax write-off. If you want to learn more about that workshop, all you have to do is text the same number, but put in the word breakthrough. So just type the word breakthrough, no spaces, breakthrough, and you'll automatically be sent a link so that you can check out the enrollment page. If you are more interested in growing or interested in growing your private practice, or maybe you have been following me for a while and you were part of our last webinars and boot camps, but you're like, you know what, I'm really ready to sign up for the Dope Therapist Academy. Our DTA doors do open in January for the February cohort. So if you want to learn more about DTA, all you have to do is text the number and use the word DTA 2022. DTA 2022. Again, that is if you want to be placed on the wait list. Okay. So does anyone have any questions? Put a 2 in the chat box if you've enjoyed this workshop. I plan to do more of them. I really enjoy doing things like this. It really puts me honestly back into the classroom because I haven't been in the classroom in now 2 semesters because college looks different. Go with the trends, right? But put a 2 in the comment box if you have enjoyed it. If you are watching this pre-recorded or on the podcast, especially on the podcast, if you want to see the slides, just head over to YouTube and find the video. All you got to do is type in Dr. spelled out TK. Again, if you want to stay connected and get motivated in the morning, text the word abundance to my phone number, 310-388-8603. If you want to get on the DTA 2022 wait list, you can text the code DTA 2022, and I'll put that here in the chat box. So DTA 2022 is 1, and then Breakthrough is the other one. Okay. So the CE workshop, APA approved, even if you're not licensed yet, we are talking about establishing great goals for yourself, your mindset, and your business for 2022. And it's Zoom. So we're going to do some breakout sessions so that you all can like connect with one another. All right. So yeah, a lot of work to do. Hey, Deshae, I'll see you in DTA finally. Oh my God, you're finally ready. I'm so excited. All right, everybody. So make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you are listening on the podcast, make sure that you follow the podcast as well. Sometimes there will be YouTube only videos, especially related to vlogs. We have a lot of behind the scenes. If you want to see what it's like for me to live abundantly, really, I show you like planning for a trip, planning for a business trip, and just enjoying life and taking my clients behind the scenes because I want all of you to have it. Okay. So stay connected. I will see some of y'all on Instagram, and you all have a great first of the month, last of the year, December. Oh, wait. Let me see. There's a comment. Are the days and times for the DTA live coaching sessions already decided? So we're going to release that. It is decided. It will be the same as last year, but we will release that information to the general public starting during the launch in January. We'll announce it on the webinar. Okay. But if you are already part of DTA, it's the exact same day and time. Okay. So you'll get the calendar invites, and remember, you can always come back to future coaching calls. Cause if you just did your first cohort, it was all about information, and now I need you to implement. All right. I'm thinking if it would fit my work schedule. So we'll release it in January. Are you East Coast or West Coast? So it is in the evening. Okay, so if you're on East Coast, it worked for actually, I'm going to say all of my East Coast, or at least 80% of my East Coast clients, because it was late. Like, it's late. For the West Coast, we can't have it too late because in my East Coast, it'll be too late. But we do have it on a weekday evening. We used to have them on Saturdays. And then when the world opened back up, that wasn't good anymore because a lot of people weren't coming on Saturdays weekly. So we tested out weekdays, and that seems to work best because a lot of therapists also still have their day job. And so we want to make sure that they're available. Also, we'll be talking about DTA more, but you do get pre-recorded calls. You can pre-submit your question. There's a lot of perks to being a part of our community. And then we also have a Facebook group as well where that goes throughout the year. All right. So you all have a great night, and just comment. I get your comments even after I go live. So I'm more than willing to answer your questions. All right. Bye.